Hello y'all, welcome back to the channel again. Today we've got another Cummins. We've got what the customer concern is an oil leak. Now I've already looked at this, but I'm going to wait until I get it torn down to show you exactly what's going on here. But this is what we have. 4th gen Cummins, oil leak, front timing cover. Stay tuned. I'll show you after I get it tore down exactly what's going on with this one. It's kind of one of those things that makes me embarrassed to be a part of a community that calls themselves professionals. Alrighty guys, so we got the cooling packages out of the way, and now I get to remove the fan, the accessory drive, then the whole top of the motor, get the push rods and the rocker arms out, and then I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek. Kind of hard to see, but right down there you see a whole bunch of silicone where previous mechanic tried to cover up his mistake by packing silicone into the oil leak. Now that we have the fan and the accessory drive system off, you can get a little bit better peek at what was going on here. My guess is when this tech did the timing housing gasket, he left some material on the housing, and when it went back together it was leaking oil. Subsequently, this will never work, and I have a feeling by all the silicone down at the bottom of that oil pan that he totally destroyed the oil pan gasket as well, which I'll have to replace that. Alright, so here we go. We've got all of the rocker arms and push rods out. Of course, all of the rocker arms, these are in a very specific order. We're going to start off at the very back of the engine to the very front of the engine. Push rods over here, very front of the engine to the very back of the engine. The reason why we do that is you have wear patterns that develop when you have metal to metal contact, and so we want to make sure that each one of those wear parts make it back to their original position so we don't disturb the wear pattern and accelerate wear. Now let's get down here to the front. You've seen me talk about another mechanic that's done all this work. Of course, we can highlight that again and all of this. Well, part of the problem that we're going to see when somebody uses this amount of silicone is this over here. So this timing cover, this is what's left on the inside face, right? Now if you notice, it didn't get any adherence to the base metal. Now what you have is something that can get down into your engine and plug stuff up. I mean, this is terrible work. What do you do? Go through 2 tubes of silicone on this? We get back over here again, and you'll notice you see 2 different color grays. You got the darker gray, which is from the repair. Then you have the lighter gray, which is factory. He didn't even clean off the surfaces. You see it all over the place. He didn't even clean off the surfaces before gluing this thing back together. I mean, this is some terrible work. I would be embarrassed. I mean, it ain't going to take me much to find out exactly who this tech was. We've been in contact with the dealership that did it, and that service manager even said that this is one of his best techs. Well, if this is their best tech's work, they need to fire them all and hire a new set. Yeah. This is ridiculous. I'm glad I got a hold of this so that I can make it right for the customer again.
Now, as far as like, you've already taken apart the top of the heads here, right? Is this a well-maintained Cummins?
Yeah, there's no sludge. There's nothing that shows me that this lady hasn't been keeping up with her maintenance. She's done her 6-7 services. She's done the oil changes. I can't ask for anything more. Of course, I haven't taken off the EGR cooler and checked that. I haven't taken off the EGR valve and checked that. No need to on this repair. I will be recommending some additional services for her, but she's doing what she needs to do from the customer standpoint as far as maintenance. No evidence to say otherwise. So.
Got you. So what would you have done differently with this repair?
Well, as evident by the amount of silicone down here, he probably damaged the front of the oil pan seal. I have a very specific way that I get the timing housing off without damaging that seal. It takes 15 minutes just to clear that seal so that you can remove that cover without damaging it. The other thing is everything gets cleaned. All of the old silicone gets cleaned off. Everything gets all of the residues cleaned off, so that when you go back together, you get full adherence of your silicones and stuff. The other thing is, and I'll find out after I get that housing off, but I use a spray adhesive where it contacts the block, so that we don't have the same oil leak happen again. What happens is, this is your oil pump right here, and when these gears are spinning, it creates a vortex right across there and right back behind there. Yeah, look at all the silicone right next to that oil pump. Anyway, it sucks that paper gasket in one of these two locations. When I go back together, oh my gosh, look at all that silicone back behind there.
Oh my gosh.
When I go back together, I use a spray adhesive. I clean the block very, very, very well, so that when you bolt it back up, it sticks to it, not just being pinched in there. Prevents that gasket from getting sucked in again.
So in other words, if you have an expensive truck, don't take it to a poor man's mechanic.
I'll take it to a hack. You got to take it to somebody that you trust that's going to do the job correctly.
Yeah, that's all, dude. That's awful. Like,
oh man, look at this.
yeah. I mean, this is still a new truck. I mean, my goodness, what is it? 2017.
It's a 17, and I think this thing still retails out on a used car right around $60,000.
Yeah.
That guy probably drove a Volkswagen to work that day.
Golly. Well, I mean, so what's the process from this point on?
Well, right now I'm going to slide the cam out, and then I'm going to slide the housing off. Everything's unbolted and ready to go. I just got to wiggle it and start cleaning surfaces, getting all of that old silicone off there. And then once I've got all the surfaces cleaned up, then we'll take the new timing housing gasket, spray the block side of it, fit it into place, and start going back together with all of it. Alright, so as we've seen from the cleanup, the oil pan gasket got absolutely demolished from the previous tech, and he tried covering it up with a massive amount of silicone. We have all of these big pieces that, I mean, look at the thickness of this.
Yeah.
That's
insane.
This is going to go on Wall of Shame. Right? And so this is part of where the oil pan and the timing housing meet. And that's what they had on there to try and stop that leak. This piece right here was on the inside of the oil pan where they demolished that gasket, and they were trying to cover it up. So this, and I'm sure several other pieces have fallen off and gone into there. Luckily, they did such a poor job that now I have to replace that oil pan gasket as well. So I'll be able to clean out the pickup tube and anything that's left in the bottom of that oil pan.
Are you thinking you're going to find something in there?
Oh yeah. I'll take pictures. I'll video it.
That's crazy, man.
Of course we have to. A job like this, we can't just not.
Well, so far, I mean, you've gotten a lot done.
Yeah.
I mean, how many hours have you been on this so far?
Yeah, getting down to this point, and it's usually about 2 hours to get to here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got another hour and a half in cleaning all the silicone off of the timing housing, the block, and the oil pan, so that I can actually start going back together without trying to stick old silicone to, just terrible.
Well, you did a good job cleaning up.
Yeah.
I mean, look right there. It's like brand new.
I use, instead of a flapper wheel, I use wire wheels.
Yep. That looks good, dude.
That, and we have an old cast iron block, not a CGI block. Yeah, I'm going to dig that one in because I hate CGI.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. Can someone switch their 2019 Plus over to a cast iron if they just want something a little bit more reliable?
If you wanted to spend the money, and let's say your 5th gen engine did fail, and you want to upgrade back to flat tappet solid cam style design, yes you can. You take a block and a head from a 4th gen, and you can bolt up all of the 5th gen accessories to it. and carry on about your merry way, but now you're back to flat, tappet, solid lifter engine. There's physically no defining characteristics that would prevent that from being an actuality.
Okay.
Adapter plate to the transmission's identical. There's a couple minor exterior things, but none of it's going to prevent you from putting a 4th gen into a 5th gen.
Okay.